The lightning shows my weakness, the thunder knows my secrets. The storm is like a brother, it knows me like no other. So let it rumble, let it roll, 'cause it's all I know. You can keep your calm and easy, but that peaceful life ain't for me. The harshest gales call out from the tree, like it can sense the reckless in me. And when the clouds roll in, it's like I'm home again. Don't need your safe and sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. I see the waters rising with waves as strong as iron. My soul was born for running. The darkness is my compass, and I will follow where it goes, 'cause it's all I know. You can keep your sunshine story, but that peaceful life ain't for me. The harshest gales call out from the tree, like it can sense the reckless in me. And when the clouds roll in, it's like I'm home again. Don't need your safe and sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Sirens ring and run for shelter. I will chase that storm forever. The harshest gales call out from the trees, like they can sense the reckless in me. And when the clouds roll in, feels like I'm home again. Don't need your safe and sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. So let the rain come down. Let the rain come down.
There I am. Welcome to the locker room. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. Let me show you why. I don't know if you can see behind me. I'm in my new office. I don't know why the camera looks like it's in the... Everything just looks wrong. My desk is different. It's a different desk. And my monitors are higher, and my camera is between my monitors, and so it makes it look all weird to me. I don't know where to look right now because I don't want to look in between the two. So okay, I'm turning my head to talk. So let's see what's going on here. All right, for some reason my tablet's not wanting to. There we go. There we go. Cinderella, hi, welcome in. You drive careful. Drive careful. No texting and driving. Sorry. But, okie dokie. So, yeah. Tomorrow is Viper Orca's 18th birthday. And I'm really proud of him. He's really turned into a wonderful person. There we go. Now you can see in my office. So, yeah, I got my incense burning right here. We're good to go. Tablets on. No cat. Door shut. No cat. So, not that he's not a good cat. Don't get me wrong, but he just causes me issues, and scratches, and bites. So, when I'm in here, this is my quiet place. Now, so I've moved a lot out of the dining room into here. I'm not finished yet, but we've got company coming this week, and I'm so excited about that. And yeah, so we're not going to do CJ's birthday party until Sunday because he has to work this week, Tuesday through Saturday. So, and he understands that. But I'll give him one of his gifts tomorrow. Oh, that means I got to wrap them all tonight. Okay, I can do that. Sure, I can. Okay, it's been 4 years and 1 month today. 4 years and 1 month today since Summer Wells went missing. Why is she still gone? I was doing some research on YouTube and I found some articles that really interested me. So, sorry, I was cleaning the bathrooms earlier and I got soft scrub all over my other shirt. So I had to change really fast before I came in here. All right, so hi H Davis, how are you? Let's see if we can get people to hit that thumbs up button. So, okay, I am going to. I'm very good, very good. This is my new office. My sunflowers, and we're in the locker room. Everything's good. So, this used to be one of my spare bedrooms. I moved the bedroom stuff out of here and made this my office. So, thank you. Thank you. We worked hard on it yesterday, my son and I did. So, all right. So, I don't have my fair use disclaimer open. Okay. So here we are. All right, there's fair use. Federal law. Actually, you're glad to be back to your normal self. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear it. My sister just texted me. She's coming Friday. Yay. Okay, I'll message her back when I'm getting finished with my live. Because I'm here for you, not for her. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not. All right. So let's get into this first one. I saw it yesterday on YouTube. And for some reason, I was thinking that it was 4 years ago today, but it was 4 years ago last month today. June 15th, not July 15th. And I'm sorry about that. But I saw this on WJHL news channel, and my monitor's crooked. I can't stand crooked. Okay, when my husband gets home, he'll help me lower them down to the right level and help me get things set up. the stand that holds my monitor is really heavy, and it bolts under the back of my desk, and it's difficult to do by yourself. CJ was outside mowing at the time I was doing that. All right, so let's play this. I'm going to raise it up.
Since a Hawkins County girl was last seen. 5-year-old. This weekend marks 4 years since a Hawkins County girl was last seen. 5-year-old Summer Wells was reported missing from her home on Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community on June 15th, 2021. On your left, the photo shared by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation when the Amber Alert was issued. On your right, an age-progressed photo released 2 years ago of what she may look like. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel spoke with Summer's father, Don Wells, as the 4-year mark of his daughter's disappearance approaches.
Nearly 4 years ago, 5-year-old Summer Wells disappeared from her home here in Hawkins County. It's believed that she walked out of this door and hasn't been seen since. And today, there are still no answers as to where she could be.
It's 4 years too long. My thoughts and feelings haven't changed. I mean, it's been heartbreak, continual heartbreak for the past 4 years.
This very yard is one of the last places Dawn Wells' daughter Summer was known to be.
We love and miss her very much and wish that she could come home very much, because she was kind of the bossy boss around here, and we just miss our children, man. We had 4 children running around here like crazy.
The then 5-year-old has been at the center of an Amber Alert since June 15th of 2021. Crews searched the Beach Creek community for weeks, with law enforcement receiving numerous tips that never panned out.
We haven't talked to them in a long time. We let Chris and Trudy, our private detectives, deal with TBI in Hawkins County, because I don't know, anyway, it's just.
Does he not talk to Hawkins County because he has something to hide and he's afraid he'll be found out? Him or Candace? I wonder, why does she go by Candace Bly when he's Wells? And from what I understand, the kids' names was all Wells. Doesn't make sense.
Better that they do that.
These faded signs all throughout the Beach Creek community are a sign of hope that Summer Wells could still come home nearly 4 years after she disappeared from her home on Ben Hill Road.
It's very bad, and and then when you add the social media pressure, of them saying that we're suspects or whatever, that just adds to it, and it's kind of living a nightmare.
Summer's mother, Candace, has only spoken to us on camera once. She declined to be a part of this interview minutes before we started recording.
She wanted.
Did Candace have something to hide? That sounds suspicious to me. It really does.
But all them fears started creeping up, of what happened, in the beginning with the social media and everything, hunting us down everywhere we go, and trying to basically ruin us everywhere we go, and she's just having nightmares.
After Summer's disappearance, the Wells' 3 oldest boys were put into Department of Children's Services custody, with Dawn and Candace eventually citing their rights over.
We haven't received any updates from them, no contact. And in fact, they deleted the phone number or blocked my phone as soon as we got done with that case and signed our children over.
And still today, one word describes their entire situation.
It's heartbreaking.
In Hawkins County, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
That's sad. But I'm not, it's not making any sense. Not making any sense. She just went absolutely missing with nothing, but her mom was home. Sebastian went absolutely missing, no sign of nothing, but his mom was home. Daniel and Lily, they went absolutely missing with no sign of nothing, and the mom disappears the day later. things just are adding up. They're just not adding up. And I don't understand it. All right. Now we're going to go to another one. It's not raining today, so I shouldn't have to take my son to work. So I can finish after we're done talking about Summer Wells. We can finish talking about Brian Koberger, because there's some more interviews that I feel are a little bit important about the Brian Koberger. And he's fixing to be sentenced next week. So, I mean, let's see what's going on here. I wish they'd do a better update, because it's been 4 years, so she would change a whole lot more. She could be taller, she could be thinner, she could have longer hair, anything. She could wear glasses by now, or have braces or something, by whatever, wherever she's at. You know, we don't know.
A 5-year-old girl disappeared from her home in Hawkins County, Tennessee on June 15, 2021. An Amber Alert was issued, and the search for her has been ongoing for 4 years, leading to one of the most exhaustive and involved missing child cases that.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that this is from the Appalachian Channel with John Ward. I'll give credit where credit. The link is in my description down below.
The TBI has ever investigated. The search for Summer has involved extensive efforts, including ground searches, aerial searches, and tracking dogs. The TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Office continue to investigate, follow up on leads, and address misinformation. We hope this video provides meaningful insight into what happened to Summer Wells. There it is, Summer Moon Utah Wells. Summer has been missing since June 15, 2021. This is a picture the TBI released.
Looks like it may be showing what it should look like now.
Yeah, I kind of am into it. It's just so fascinating to me. I don't know. It's just the most bizarre. It's really, really, if you really look into it, you'll go down a rabbit hole. And I've been down that rabbit hole many times.
Hello, everyone. This is John Ward with the Appalachian Channel, and this is Olivia with Chronicles of Olivia.
Oh my goodness! I did not even realize that was her. I've never seen her. She is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Olivia.
And following along with her today as she investigates a case. She's going to tell you about that. Her channel, Chronicles of Olivia on YouTube, has over 400,000 subscribers, and she is a true crime investigator. She goes all over the United States wherever things are happening, and she also has over 1 million followers on TikTok. So we started working together in North Carolina last year and worked on several projects there, and then she's been here to Tennessee, and we worked about a month ago for a few days, and then her and her mom's back again, and she's my first guest here on the show at the Appalachian Channel Studios. So Olivia, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing today.
So today I'm going to be taking John to Rogersville, Tennessee. A very haunting case comes from there, the Summer Wells case. I've been working on it for a few years, and I was telling John about it, and he was very curious. So I wanted to walk him through the timeline of the case, the watering hole where Summer and her mother spent the day before she vanished. We're going to go to Beach Creek, to where Summer was living, and just show John the different theories, the different places that are relevant to the Summer Wells case. A very, very sad story. It's been 4 years. On June 15th of 2021, she vanished from her property. Her parents claim that she was abducted, and it's a story that really America. Her parents were on Dr. Phil and interviewed many times by the media. So yeah, we're just gonna dive into the Summer Wells case and learn about it and bring awareness to her being missing. The TBI released a photo of her about 2 years ago of how she would look like now. And last I heard a week ago, the TBI did say that they are going to revisit the Wells property and search the creek. So that's kind of one of the last updates, as well as a private investigator, Jason Jensen, did submit a tip to the TBI about 3 weeks ago. We don't know what that tip is, but it looks like it's a pretty good one. And now that we know the TBI is revisiting the property, something seems to be stirring. So we're going to go and check it out.
Well, sounds interesting. This is something I have no idea how it works. I was asking Olivia how she just shows up and does that, and she's going to show us. And she says it's to do with being boots on the ground, being there where it happened. And so it is very hot today.
Yeah, it is.
But we're going to have a good day, a good trip. So guys, get ready, get you some coffee and sit back. We're getting ready to hit the road.
All right, guys. So we're on Beach Creek Road. We are outside of Rogersville. This is, we're about a half a mile away from somewhere where she went missing. Let me put your window down. She could be anywhere. Who knows? Is she buried? Did she wander off? Who knows what happened to Summer? But this case has, had a lot of people very intrigued just because of how.
Now, how many years ago was this as she went missing?
2021, June 15th.
Okay.
So it's been about 4 years now. So she would be 9 years old. She was 5 when she vanished, so she'd be about 9, turning 10. And I believe her parents lost custody of the other children. There were.
Now, I think Summer's birthday was in February, so she would be 10 now. She was 5. 22, she would have been 6. 23, she would have been 7. 24, she would have been 8. Yeah, so she's 9 now. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry.
3 other boys. Another weird thing is that Candace's sister, Rosemary Bly, vanished, I think in like 2000 and something, like 10 or 11. So there's 2 disappearances in this family. All right, so we're turning down the road here. You can.
Goodness, you need to slow down.
So see what I mean, how this road is just, very kind of secluded. This is the Wells property. What you're looking at is 11 acres. They used to have a lot of dogs running around and stuff. One of them was hit by a car, remember? But yeah, see, premises, private property, 24-hour surveillance. This is the street right here. And look at that driveway. If you zoom in there, John, I mean, you can't really tell through the video, but it's pretty you need 4-wheel drive to drive up that thing. There's a bunch of grooves in that driveway. And looks like
They definitely need to take a grader and a bucket of gravel down it.
they have a sign, some new signs I haven't seen before.
Looks like they got something for packages.
Yeah, they've had that forever there, that blue bin.
People bring stuff and drop it off.
Mm-hmm. But you can see how quiet it is. At the time, they had a lot of dogs, so it makes you wonder when she disappeared or if she was abducted. Like, wouldn't you think that the dogs would have, barked or something, And so Jody Sue, the neighbor, I think she lived, on this side. One of these places here. Don't know if she still lives there or not. But I wonder what that animalistic scream was that she heard. But yeah, I mean, look at these woods. Lots of woods out here. I assume all of this was searched. That over there, that street down there, there's I think a trailer down there. Look, there's another sign right here about summer. You can zoom in there. And Mom, are you dizzy? Are you okay? Okay, we're almost done. So this is a dead end. It's actually very beautiful back here. Look at this creek. There's this creek. And I remember there was someone living over here that...
I've never seen this. I've never seen any video of the actual surrounding area. I bet they got ticks. Oh my.
Yeah, there's several different houses down here. But this is just to show you guys the terrain surrounding the Wells property. So all of this area is pretty critical because it's when someone goes missing, the 1 mile radius from where the point they went missing from is important, because there could be evidence or whatnot. You never know. Let's see here. And I wonder what all these people think. I wonder what the neighbors think about what happened out here. I wonder. So it looks like this is a dead end right here. I'm going to actually turn around here. I don't want to go too deep in here.
So you were here about 2 years ago, though?
I've come here like every year since 2021.
Oh, okay. So you've been here multiple
I've been
times.
here many times, and I've been here at different times of the year. So I've seen it in the winter time when the leaves are off the trees, where you can really see the property. And what I'll actually do, John, is I'll give you the footage that I have where you can see when the leaves are off the trees, so that the people watching this video can have a perspective of that. But what's crazy is, like, she vanished June 15th, and right now it's July 7th, so we're like in the same time frame that she vanished from. So what you're seeing right now, guys, is how it looked like when she vanished. And you can't really see the property at all. It is.
Yes, H. Davis. She is very pretty. Very pretty.
So secluded. It's so hidden. You would never know that there was even a house back there. And that's what makes it so weird is if she was abducted, how did the person even know there was even anyone living up that, gravel driveway? How did anyone even know there was a child to even abduct? If it was just a drive-by, it's just strange.
Do you know how long she had been down in the basement before they realized she was missing?
Candace never ever talked about that. She just said she went down there.
I think Candace said it was just, according to Candace, just 3 or 4 minutes. She helped her mom with her knee brace, and then she went back in to her own house, and then, oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my camera on. And then she went back into her own house and asked the boys, where's Summer? And they said downstairs playing in the basement. And she went down through the cabinet in the kitchen, which is a weird way to get to the basement. But she went down through there and she couldn't find Summer. And then she seen her, the back door was, I guess, unlocked or something. And she thought Summer went through that. From what I'm understanding.
And then, or she was going down to the basement, and they just never saw her again.
I wonder if anybody's asked the boys, did she really go down to the basement? Now that they're completely away from the mom and dad, from Candace and Dawn, Now the kids are completely away. Has anybody asked the boys? Was Summer really in the house that day? Did she really go down to the basement?
There's of course different sides of the story. There's people that believe that the parents are involved. Hold on, let me go. This right here. It's very quiet out here. Very
secluded.
It says here that you can actually take one of these flyers. In fact, I would like to take one. So I'm just gonna park the car right here. I'm gonna just go grab one of these flyers. There it is, Summer Moon Utah Wells. Summer has been missing since June 15, 2021. This is a picture the TBI released.
Looks like it may be showing what it should look like now.
Yeah.
Do you like traveling with your daughter?
Yes.
Let me just kind of.
So there's no indication if she went missing through the night
There's
or
someone coming.
through the night, maybe.
What was that, John? Sorry.
Well, they don't know. Was it like the next morning before they realized, oh, she's gone, or?
No, they found out right then and there. Like it was, I think, around in the evening. It might have been before 2 o'clock. I have to look back in my interview with Allie, and Allie said that she got a call from Candace in the evening. I don't know if it was like 3 o'clock or so. And
Now explain the names of the people that you're talking.
Hold it. That says online auction. Are the Wellses selling their property? Is their property up for sale now? And then people can't come search for Summer anymore? Suspicious.
About. You talked about Hunter. How is Hunter related to Summer? Oh,
so Hunter is.
At the cross.
Where's the cross?
Yeah, close.
Oh, they put a cross there. I did not see that. Oh my
someone
God,
probably a
hi.
car accident. You might go up this road
Yeah.
here if you need to.
I'm gonna pull over. So yeah, we'll stay right here. So Hunter was a family friend. So Allie, Hunter's mom, was friends with Candace, and so I guess they were just swimming that day at the watering hole, and Hunter just went along. And actually, the last TikTok video that Candace posted of Summer was Summer swimming in the watering hole, and it's on YouTube somewhere because it's not on TikTok anymore. But they looked like they were just having a good time. But I do remember that at some point they had left to, or I don't know if it was before they arrived at the watering hole or during the watering hole, they went to a like a dispensary or something, and like they got like some stuff there. It's like a smoke shop. I've been there to just like ask if anyone knew anything. It's here in town, but there's like rumors. There's always rumors and stuff, and sometimes I hate talking about rumors, but sometimes there's truth to rumors. And one of them that people say online is that maybe she got a hold of maybe something like edibles or I don't know, something. And maybe Summer ate them and maybe she got sick and maybe that's why she passed. A lot of people think that she died from secondhand drowning because at the watering hole, Hunter tells a story where he saw Summer under the water and he didn't know how long she was under the water for because he was like charging his phone in the parking lot, and the parking lot's maybe like 20 yards away from the watering hole, but just far enough where she could probably go. Maybe she slipped and fell in the water or something. And so that just started the rumor of maybe secondhand drowning was involved. And also,
Now, how old would Hunter would have been? Do you know?
he was 15.
Okay, so a teenager.
He was 15.
Yeah, H. Davis, that's why I wanted to bring it up again, is to get her name back out here. I didn't know this. I'd never seen this interview.
And there's a picture that Candace took of Summer in the back of the car. She was sleeping, but she was kind of slunched over these like a water jug or a milk jug, and and a lot of people think that maybe she wasn't alive in the photo, or that she looked a little blue, like her fingers looked odd. And you should probably put that picture in this part of the video for people to see. It's on Google, but there's rumors that she died of secondhand drowning, or maybe eating something, like ingesting something that would have made her really sick or something, like an accident. Maybe she passed from an accident, but maybe her parents buried her.
Did the parents expect anybody in the family or anybody that had come around that would have wanted to kidnap her? Because, I mean, a young child like that happens, they get abducted quite often,
It's usually someone close to the family. Yeah. Honestly, I never heard of anyone that Candace thought maybe did it. I mean, there was a
No
guy.
suspects.
No, there was a guy named Jose. Oh, so that's kind of cool for you to film. I'll turn back around. But you see that they
Where
have.
Summer Wells, yeah.
Allie had a boyfriend named Jose. He passed away not long after Summer went missing, but apparently he was around them a lot. So maybe, I don't know, but that's one person I just remember hearing about was an ex-boyfriend or a boyfriend or something of
How about
mom.
Summer's real father not living there?
No, he does. Dawn Wells. So Dawn and Candace, they're still together. And I'm not even filming. Of course I have. So Dawn and Candace Wells, I'm glad this person is passing. They live together on that property. I don't know if they're there now, but they've been together for a while. They have several kids together. Summer was the only girl that they had together. They have 3 other children, I believe, 3 other boys. But I'm not sure if they're in custody. I don't think they have them in their custody. Maybe they are back together. I'm not sure. But at the time when Summer went missing, I think they lost the custody after she vanished.
You think they lost custody of their other kids?
Yeah, after Summer went missing.
Any indication of why they might have lost custody?
I think it has to do with drugs, possibly. I think.
Ooh. I hadn't heard that. All right, let's see if we can do something besides her driving down the street.
specific road that's very close to the Wells property. But we'll drive all the way down this road here, and I remember we came here 2 winters ago. That's the last time I was on this road with my friends, and we there's this abandoned barn, which I want to show you because you like abandoned things and I do too. And so I thought maybe we could go check that out. We actually flew a drone back here. We had a friend, a local guy who lives down here, and he brought his drone, and we got some drone footage of this area, which I'll give to you, and people could have an aerial shot of this road, and you can see how there's a difference between being boots on the ground and then being in the air. When you're in the air, you can see what a difference it is with the view of how expansive and how many.
Okay, back a sec. Just a second. Okay, what is this back here? Is that where Candace's mom lives, or is this over here where Candace's mom lives? Because she said her mom lived really close, so would it be back here, or would it be over here? Does anybody know?
You can see what a difference it is with the view of how expansive and how many acres of forest is out here. It's how secluded. Personally, I truly believe that Summer is buried somewhere out here. I've always stood by that. I think that she's here somewhere. I don't think she's actually very far away from her parents' property, if not on the property, but I think that she's within a 5-mile radius of the property. That's just my opinion. But
wow, that's
then again,
a lot.
you never know.
What's a few of the other cases that you've worked that people may know from the news?
The Idaho murders. A couple days ago on Peacock, they actually just released a documentary where I was in. I've worked on Gabby Petito.
On that, you was also on the, was that, you're talking about a different documentary from the Paramount?
Yeah, different one. Oh, so I've been inside of this abandoned home, and it's kind of cool in there. There's a bunch of vintage old bottles in there. They look like they're 100 years old. And I've been inside this abandoned barn, and it's just so weird being here, seeing everything grown, because I was here in the winter when it was just barren. And in that barn, actually, there's a bin, almost looks like where horses would drink water out of. And at the very bottom, there was a stuffed animal, like a little tiger stuffed animal. It was the weirdest thing.
Ooh, that's scary.
Found in there, and we found a needle casing or something in there. But let me turn around here. So this right here is a cemetery that's across the street from their property. You can actually see their property from here in the winter when the leaves are down. But that's just something that I've always thought was eerie. Is look, there's a tombstone with your last name on it.
Oh, yeah?
Ward.
How about that?
That's weird.
Well, probably some wards up here, maybe several.
That was really weird. But yeah, so this is a cemetery across the street from the house. How do you think that people bury if they want to hide a body? I feel like the best place would be a cemetery.
Well,
Right?
it'd have to, if you dug a new hole, they would see fresh dirt, so you couldn't just come out and dig a hole and nobody noticed it. Now, if they were already burying somebody and...
Well, why don't we step out for a second?
Well, is this? We better not block this road right here. We better pull in over here because this road's going to get blocked. And there's fresh eggs being sold up here apparently. Let's just pull.
It is private property back there, but
Let's just pull right here, pull in that grass or the driveway of the yeah, just to the side right here, so people can get out.
Am I gonna hit anything else right there? Not for very long. Or you stay there. So, was Summer buried here? We're right across from her parents' property. What if they came in the middle of the night? Buried her here? Who knows? I can't believe your last name is on this ward. But their property is right there on the top of that hill through those trees. And it's just very eerie, you know? Where is she? She could be anywhere. Lots of woods out here. I feel like it's just, at this point, impossible to find her. Yeah.
After 4 years, it seems like it's.
Yeah, it is. Now, wasn't there talk a couple months ago about they were taking an excavator into that cemetery because somebody had been buried? Or, oh, was it when that Jose guy was buried? Did they take did they suspect that Summer was underneath where he was going in and somehow got under where his coffin would have gone? I don't know. Wow.
It's been a long time.
At this point, they're just looking for bones. You know.
And you said you saw something pop up about they're going to start searching for her body maybe again?
Yeah, on their property.
Oh, on their. Okay.
Yeah, the TBI.
The 11 acres.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that it was originally searched? Good, or?
I believe it was. I guess they're just going to revisit the property and see. It's hot. So you can kind of see, and the reason why I'm whispering is because sound travels. Like, they can probably hear me if I talk a little louder from here, but right there, if you zoom in, even if you zoom in, it's really hard to see, but that's where their house is. They had a school bus on the property at one point too. But the TBI is supposed to be searching the bottom of this part of their property where the creek is, apparently.
I wonder why. I mean, I know why, but I mean, I wonder why all of a sudden now. No, I'm not tired.
It's a shame you can't see right now, but
I've been cleaning.
In the winter when the leaves are...
When my sister texted me earlier, she was telling me she'll be here Friday. My husband will be home Thursday. CJ's birthday is tomorrow. So I'm trying to get my house in order. You know, getting the bathrooms deep cleaned and getting floors all mopped and vacuumed and make sure there's clean sheets on the beds and everything, and just trying to get what's going on.
Down. It's a steep ass hill. You can't tell right now, but this is steep. I mean, she could have just fallen and hit her head on something because of how steep this mountain is, but right now you just can't see.
Well, I mean, you can tell how steep it is.
They got a
because
big
You
property.
can tell you're looking at the top of the tree.
I mean, it's pretty, but sure is haunting. Yeah.
Just stop in the middle of the road and just take your video.
Pretty crazy. It's so creepy being here. Oh, there's a car coming, John. You stay there.
Just stay there, John. I remember seeing an interview from back when Summers first went missing, and the police had their area set up where everybody was gathering to go search and stuff, and it was up on a hill. You could see the road down below it like that, and the the person talking, the police officer, her back was to the road, and she just at the exact moment she was talking about they were looking for the owner of a maroon truck that had ladder racks on the back of it, and I'm like, it's going right behind you. I was looking at the road and it looked like the truck they were talking about was driving right behind her.
Olivia's down there taking some pictures, and we saw this. We're not for sure. This has someone's name on it. Didn't know if it had something to do with Summer or not, but apparently maybe someone by the name of Dustin died here, maybe in a car accident. Probably is what you usually see. We see Dustin on this cross, and Dustin, I love you. So this has nothing to do with Summer missing, but it's been interesting working with Olivia today, which we've worked on other projects, but I've never went with.
Okay, I'm gonna go to another one from Summer. I didn't realize that one was so long. I'm sorry. It's already been almost an hour. I didn't realize it that long. Okay, this one is from Don B. And he usually puts out short videos at 27 minutes, but we probably won't hear the whole video because he goes right into what he's thinking. If that's Dawn and Summer, maybe that's that Jose guy. I don't know. Maybe Dawn will tell us.
I think something's going on, but I'll get into that in just a minute. But first, I want to, all these videos are just basically stuff that's on my mind in the Summer Wells case, and just stuff I want to go over and give my opinion about. And I do make pretty good points. I'd like to think so. Anyway, that being said, a lot of people are, kind of got these weird feelings about Dawn and Candace basically having their, charges dismissed against them through DCS. And, Dawn and Candace may have avoided being charged, but they can't avoid how they acted on YouTube after Summer went missing. And let me say that again. They may have been able to avoid charges with DCS, but they can't avoid the behavior that they showed on YouTube after Summer went missing, right? That behavior includes possible DV and a lot of cussing, a lot of it looks like a lot of alleged drunken behavior, maybe some other stuff going on, you know, besides alcohol. I don't know. But after Summer went missing and the boys were in DCS custody, the Wells exhibited behavior on YouTube that, in my opinion, would would not be well for the kids to be in that house at that time, right? Like if the kids were in that house when we witnessed Dawn and Candace on YouTube right after Summer went missing, I bet you that'd have probably been 10,000 calls to CPS, right? So yeah, they can't avoid the behavior that they exhibited on YouTube after Summer went missing. All right. So now that being said, I discovered something pretty interesting, guys. Pretty interesting. Been doing some research. And like I said, I make pretty good points here, and I appreciate y'all tuning in and let me know whether you think I hit the nail on the head or I missed it. So we all know that Dawn and Candace have avoided charges through DCS, right? Because they probably made a deal with the state and signed their rights away. Now, I was curious. I thought, what's got Dawn and Candace so triggered lately? Yeah, they're triggered. They're triggered. Now, I'll get into that in just a second. But I thought to myself, can someone be charged? Like, can the police charge someone, right, for neglect and all that stuff, even though DCS ain't involved, right? The DCS, I guess, ain't involved no more. And the answer is yes. It says here in Tennessee, the statute of limitation in most child, CA offenses is 25 years from the child's 18th birthday. Okay. Interesting, ain't it, guys? Guess who's about to turn 18? Josie. And it really doesn't matter because, if this is correct, the statute of limitations in Tennessee for most CA offenses is 25 years from the child's 18th birthday. This means a person can be prosecuted for CA offenses that occurred on or after July 1st, 2012, up to 25 years after the child turns 18. That is very interesting. Now, it goes on to say for specific offenses related to child essay, Tennessee law outlines 25 years statute of limitations from the child's 18th birthday, according to Tennessee.gov. This applies to offenses defined under Tennessee Code. Oh, it gets a bunch of codes here. So not only does that cover CA offenses, it covers essay offenses. So, guys, just because DCS ain't involved no more doesn't mean they're still not going to face any charges, right? I mean, if Josie was to come out and, Josie doesn't even really have to come out. Waylon doesn't have to come out. The kids, the boys don't have to come out and really say anything. I mean, if they've got enough evidence.
Okay, who's the older girl that I heard about that Dawn supposedly SA'd a couple years before Summer had gone missing? Or was that another case? I don't know. Maybe I got them mixed up. I thought I heard about Dawn S.A. and another girl that was about 13, 14 years old.
Without the boys, like if there were witnesses that are willing to testify and, all this other stuff, you really don't need the testimony of the kids, right? I mean, it'll help. It'll help a lot. Now, why haven't we seen any, CA charges or neglect charges, from the police on Dawn and Candace? That's a great question. But just because we have not seen any to this point, according to this information on Google, we've got a long road ahead of us for charges to be filed on them through law enforcement, which is very, very interesting. So I just thought I'd share that little tidbit with you guys. So, I mean, if Dawn and Candace are possibly facing criminal charges in relations to CA or SA or neglect, they've got a long road in which to file those charges, right? Statute of limitations, 25 years from the child's 18th birthday.
Wow. Okay, so what Dawn B is saying, I think about every time I look at that man. I went to high school and junior high with a Don Beardsley. I don't know what Don B's last name is, but I haven't seen him since high school. So he had a brother named Scott. His brother still lives over in El Dorado, I think, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to dox anybody. But I haven't heard from his brother's wife in a long time. So I don't know. They might have moved away. But I always wonder, is that the Dawn that I went to school with? I don't know. All right. So that's all I have on Summer Wells. You can go back and watch the rest of Dawn's video if you would like to on your own time. But let's get back into this on Brian Koberger before he gets sentenced and listen to more about what the kids' parents and family are talking about. All right. This is from News Nation. So I'm going to have to do a lot of.
Steve Gonzalez. He is the father of Kaylee Gonzalez. His attorney is Shannon Gray, who has stood by him steadfast from the beginning.
Now, we started watching this. We watched just a few minutes of it before I had to leave on Saturday to take my son back to work. And then we've been cleaning house and mowing yards and doing dog baths and all that stuff for the past couple of days. So I didn't get to come back in yesterday. So I'm gonna rewind it back to the beginning and we'll watch just a few minutes over again.
Steve, I don't know what to say. You're the first person I thought of when I heard this news today. I reached out to you right away, first to tell you how sorry I was, because I know how this is landing. At least I think I do. But I wanted you to have your say. I wanted you to be able to say out loud for everyone to hear what this means to you and your family.
This is anything but justice. This is the opposite of our will. There was no majority believing that this was acceptable. I want to honor all the police officers, the FBI, and all the people that work their tail off. The failure is at the court level, 100%.
Oh, so he's saying that the court failed the kids. I can see that. I can understand that. I can get behind that.
But the men in the boots on the ground and the women that were out there working, I want to honor everything that they did for our children, 100%. The fault is in leadership and the people that you place this evidence upon. They were weak. They decided to play God and decide what this man's decision should be, and not a jury, not a peers, not his peers. They, so that's where we are today.
Walk me through what happened. Brian Enton, did some really great reporting at the top of this show here. But tell me from your perspective how the last 3 days have played out.
I would say ever since Hitler has demanded an independent investigation, they couldn't get away from this case fast enough. They've done everything to make this case go away. So I don't know what that entails, but he said he was going to have an independent investigator, and all of a sudden we seemed like we were on rails to get rid of this case and make a plea deal. I mean, he's guilty. We all know he's guilty. There's more than enough evidence, but it's tough. It's tough to put a community through this, and
sorry, Don's cousin is the sheriff. Sheriff's son found guilty of SA of a minor. He has to 19 years. I didn't know that. Wow. Thank you for that information. Are you talking about Don B that we were just watching? Cinderella says, sorry, Don's cousin is the sheriff. Sheriff's son found guilty of SA of a minor. He has to do 19 years with an ankle bracelet. So he's kind of, well, not really kind of, but it's like Katie Rogers, Katie Proudfoot. Oh, Dawn Kid. Oh, that Dawn. Okay. Thank you for that. She's talking about Dawn Wells, not Dawn B. So, okay. So, Katie Proudfoot's biological mother has 99 years probation for SAing, RSO or something. She can't be around children for 99 years. And it's been speculated that Sebastian might be with her currently. I don't know. I'm sure the police have gone and checked. I'm sure. I would hope. Wherever she lives. I'm on the case on the fence on this Brian Koberger thing. Okay, he pled guilty. But I don't think he did it alone. I think he had accomplices. Somebody giving him inside information. And I do believe that the victims, at least Maddie, I think, or Kaylee, was one of the two. She was targeted, at least. And the other three were just because they happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But why did two other people? Now, Dylan, I can understand. Her room was down in the basement. There are. I'm gonna have to look that up, Cinderella. Thank you. Thank you. So, I mean, with Dylan being in the basement and her sleeping off a brown bottle flu or something, I don't know. But, okay, I can understand her. She wouldn't have heard, seen, done nothing, in the basement. Yeah, he could have been snooping. But what I was going to say, Cinderella says, I think so too. However, he could have just been snooping. Okay. If he had an accomplice, okay, like insider trading or something, whoever the accomplice was that agreed to wait 5 hours before calling LE or anything else like that, that person's getting away scot-free, allegedly. Except for one thing. They have to live with that right here the rest of their life if they helped Brian Kohberger. And I think that the case should not stop with him pleading guilty. I think they should still do other investigation to see. He needs to reevaluate all of the people. Because there were the two kids that came, Hunter and the other girl that came to the house. So were they at the house prior? We don't know. See, there's too many questions still up in the air right now.
Could be bad for reputations and business identities, and there's fallout. But this isn't the will of the victims. This is just one person making a decision, and it doesn't reflect what we were asking for.
Steve, did anybody ever call you from the prosecutor's office to just personally discuss this with you? Did anybody offer to meet with you in person to go over this potential plan?
We have meetings all the time particularly a lot of times on Friday. No. We had this regular meeting that we have to try basically do an update of what's going on, where things are at, because Idaho is actually an amazing state where it really does care about people. We just get one or two, people who just don't care about the victims and don't care about justice. And it's easy to take the weight out. It's easy to make an excuse and say, I'm doing this for the victims, even though I've never interviewed the victims. I've never really talked to them to find out what their true feelings are. So here we are. We're stuck, and we can't get out of it. I ask your audience if anybody knows Judge Hippler, reach out to him and ask him to put his foot down and not accept this offer. It doesn't reflect anything in Idaho. This is not justice. We had an outsider come to our community, kill our kids in their sleep while they're getting a college education, doing everything that they should do, and we don't have the courage to hold him accountable. No plea deal. Let's go for this guy. 100%. Let's do it. And that's how this family stands.
I forgot what I was going to say. So, is this before the plea, before the deal was already done, before he said I'm guilty, or was this after? Because the way he makes it sound is like the judge can reverse whatever he said before. and the judge could make it go back to, but I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Because I think the judge said during the questioning, you know, he could only refuse it if Brian said that he wasn't guilty to any one of the 5 charges. So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I have a friend who's a lawyer, but I'm not a lawyer.
Steve, I know that, it's no secret your daughter Kaylee was so close with Maddie Mogan, best of friends. And I know that you got to know the Mogan family as well. Have you spoken with the Mogan family, and do you know what their reaction is to this plea decision?
We actually just had a meeting with the prosecution and just tore into it and made it clear that we were not in support of this, but we also invited other families into that, and I'll let them speak on their own that were part of that meeting, but we are in no way alone on this. Multiple families believe the same as we do, but I want to honor their abilities to speak independently and as their child. So I don't want to cross that line, but all I will say is there was no majority for this decision at all. And if they're not working for us, they're working against us, guys.
Well, yeah, if you got 4 parents, 4 kids, 4 sets of parents, and 2 sets are saying, no, don't take the plea deal. 2 sets are saying, at least we'll get the killer in jail. Wow. There couldn't possibly be a majority.
I mean, we have to wake up to this. I mean, we have to hold people.
Cinderella says, I think Koberger had a burner phone and the phone connected to the Wi-Fi. That means he was at that house with that burner. I think Koberger has been thinking about it. Ooh. Well, you remember a couple weeks ago, Reality Wins was in here. Reality, if you're here, hello, sweetheart. Reality Wins was in here, and she said that Kaylee had dated somebody one time, but nobody knows right now who that somebody was. And Reality said she thought it might be possible that she had dated Koberger. Oh, password to what? Was there a password to get into the sorority? No, he broke in the middle of the night. I don't know what password. But anyway, I think I remember Reality saying, I don't want to put words in her mouth if she didn't say it this way, but I think she said that nobody knows who that one person was, and it's possible that she had dated Brian one time. They had gone out one time, and she turned him down after that because he wasn't who she thought he would be, and she didn't feel like he'd be a good match for her. So after that, it's possible that that could be why. And the fact that Maddie was in the bed visiting Kaylee that weekend. Okay. It's possible that she woke up during whatever he was trying to do to Kaylee, and she ended up in the same position Kaylee was in. And then Xana got in the way, running up and down the stairs, and Ethan was a bystander for that because Xana ran into her room where Ethan was sleeping, and Ethan, trying to protect Xana, ended up getting in the same position. That's what I think I remember Reality saying, but I don't want to put words in her mouth. But to me, it makes sense. I know somebody said it. I'll give Reality credit if she did say it.
Accountable. Coeur d'Alene just had a shooting where we attacked our firemen. People need to stand up to these monsters and stop freaking bowing down to them and giving them childcare. I mean, prison is nothing but adult childcare. You get free vision, you get free dental, you get free meals, you get AC, room and board, cable TV, internet access. It's ridiculous what we give our prisoners. Better than what we treat our vets. Our vets coming back from war with missing limbs. This is unacceptable.
Shannon Gray, I'm going to ask you to step in as well. Judge Hippler, Steve just mentioned Judge Hippler in this case. I have to ask you as a matter of law, would Judge Hippler have been fully integrated into this deal plan? Meaning, this is not a surprise to Judge Hippler. Is he going to have to weigh this and then rule from the bench as to whether he'll accept it or not? Or is it a fait accompli by the time they get this far down the road that the judge will accept it?
Well, I think a few weeks ago, Judge Hippler, talked about had there been an offer at all on this case. I think he mentioned it in the courtroom, and maybe that sparked something with the defense and the prosecution. I'm not sure. That being said, with a plea like this, it's with the life sentences and it's agreed upon by the state and the defense. There's small modifications sometimes that they can make to the sentencing regarding, restitution, some other things like that. But if the state presents sufficient facts to the judge or a plea of guilty to the counts, normally judges will accept that, and they'll let the defense know if they're not going to accept that ahead of time. So I would suspect that the plea will go through on Wednesday, and then they'll set over sentencing for a few weeks, and so the victims can be present to read victims' impact statements, etc.
So, Steve, I covered a case where the defendant was so overwhelmingly guilty according to the evidence, and it was a death penalty case in Arizona, and that jury voted guilty, and they did not vote for death penalty. So that defendant, Jodi Arias, sits in a prison in Arizona as we speak, and she had multiple access to appeals. I wonder if there's any solace at all in knowing that this can't happen to him at this point. There can be no appeal. There can be not one squeak.
Cinderella says, I love Reality. I'm not from the haters. Brittany is on edge so much she's getting upset at people who care. I haven't had the ability to watch Brittany very much lately. I've been catching a few minutes of something. Yesterday I saw her live, and I went in and she was closing out the live. So, and she said that she would send Reality the link in email. But if you don't have a way to text or email, text Brittany or anything like that, if you don't have her phone number or whatever, you can't talk to her because she won't answer emails. I mean, I love Brittany as a person from what I've seen of her in the last almost year that I've been watching her. And she's going through a hard time, and I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her whole family. They do not deserve what is happening. I wish financially I could help her out in her situation, but I can't. I mean, I would love to, but I can't. I'm glad that she's not a hater. Yes, I agree with that. She is being stalked and harassed and bullied, and everything else. And it's not fair. It's not right. And nobody deserves it. Not Brittany and her family, not you, not me, not reality, not Nana's Dragonfly. Nobody deserves it. And you can see the people on this side are not harassing and stalking the people on that side. I don't understand why they all of a sudden started harassing and stalking and why they picked out Brittany. I didn't see that start, so I don't know what's happening. And I'm sorry for Brittany. I'm sorry to Brittany that it's happening, and I'm glad that I'm not part of that happening. I'm not part of the. If you're not part of the help, you're part of the problem. And I don't want to be part of the problem, but I don't know how I can help other than praying for Brittany. That's all I can say. I'm not going to say anything bad on Brittany. And I wouldn't expect you or anybody else to say anything bad on Brittany just because she doesn't deserve it.
From Brian Koberger, after he accepts that sentence at the end of this month, much like, unlike what happened in Arizona, where there is always a chance the jury does not choose death. Is there any solace in the fact that you will at least have him silenced and there will be no appeals?
Absolutely zero. None.
Right,
No
really, I
than
agree
how
with
we
that.
believe. I want my community support. I want that jury to make the decision, not Thompson, not some old.
I went up on Brittany's panel a little while back, and Jay's for Justice, something with Jay. I don't remember. It's Jay's for Justice. I know that, but she was on a different channel name at the time, and yeah, she was telling me I was stupid and I needed to be in the locker. And she changed my name to Get Liquored, and I don't drink, and it's horrible. It's horrible. Because Jay was screen sniping her, and she was talking horribly. And I actually watched. I went over to Jay because I knew Jay had been screen sniping Brittany. So when I got off panel and Brittany ended her live, I went over to Jay. And I got into some serial arguments with Jay. I'm telling you, I was telling her how the cow ate the cabbage. And I ended up getting silenced. She could yell at me and say what she wanted about me and type what she wanted into chat about me, but I couldn't respond. And she was reporting me, and I had to go back and apologize to Brittany for it because Jay was reporting me for putting out false information, which I wasn't. I was putting out theories. And she was doing it on Brittany's live. So I felt like Brittany might have gotten in trouble for that. And I had to go apologize. And I felt terrible. And I haven't really been back to Brittany's channel since then. I went back one day and somebody had gone in there under my name and said that I said some horrible things about her husband and said that I was talking about her husband not working and that he needed to get a job and stuff like that. And I never said that. I told Brittany, I didn't know he didn't work outside the home. That's not my business. But they were talking about his keto diet the night before. And he was talking about how he could eat this kind of meat and whatever this product, and then he could have a couple of shots and drink one of his low carb beers or whatever. And several people were typing in the chat, and Brittany was pulling it up on screen, and they were saying fun things, and everybody was saying fun things and being supportive of him. He's in a journey that he feels is important, and I'm proud. Everybody needs their own journey. And I just made a joking comment. I said, if you skip the shots and the beer, you could eat a whole nother meal. And somebody screenshotted that and sent it to Brittany, and Brittany was upset, and she thought it was I was saying something about her husband not working in the home. And it wasn't anything. It was just a joke. But one of her mods, I don't know which one it is, but one of her mods really doesn't like me for some reason, and I don't know why. But she says, we can see everything you type, and you type this. And I said, that was a joke. That was a joke. And I haven't wanted to go back because I feel like I hurt Brittany unintentionally, and I hurt her husband unintentionally, and I haven't seen reality since then. So I feel like I upset reality, and I didn't mean to upset reality. I was just trying to make a joke, and I apologized. And I feel terrible to this day that I had said that. But I was trying to joke around with them. I felt comfortable enough to joke, and I was trying to joke, and it ended up coming back. Like every time I try to joke with somebody, it ends up coming back and biting me in the booty. And people say I have no sense of humor. Well, when I try to have a sense of humor, I get in trouble. So why have a sense of humor? So, but I apologize to Brittany for that, and there's no way I can make up for trying to tell a joke and then people getting upset about it. I feel like I'm responsible for why the judge calmed the way he did. I feel like somebody on the other side of the street used my screenshot, and that might have got might have got the judge's result the way it was. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. It's not my business, the whole story. I just heard a few words that Brittany had said, and because you know how on YouTube, when you're scrolling through, it'll start playing just a little bit of what they're talking about. Well, I had heard just a little bit as I was going through there, and I'm like, I'm not getting in the middle of this. I'm sorry, Brittany, but it was also, she was on members only, and I couldn't have commented or anything on because I'm not a member of her backup channel. I'm a member on her main channel, but that membership's going to go away at the end of the month because my debit card got compromised yesterday, and unless I'm able to get a new card before my time runs out, I won't be able to renew my membership.
Man who's 70 freaking years old deciding how my daughter's life weighs in a courtroom. That is not justice. That is not justice at all. I'll take my juries, I'll take my peers all day long. I'm sick of one man deciding or one woman deciding what a life's worth. So that's how I stand on that.
I fully understand how you feel. And none of us can understand what you're going through. None of us is walking in your shoes. And I'm just glad to give you this platform to be able to say these things publicly. And I'm also glad that you got the support of Shannon Gray, who's just been a rock for you. Thank you to the both of you. Steve, please give Christy and your kids our love. We will still be here. We'll be here Wednesday. We'll be here at the end of the month, and we'll be here for you after that as well.
Well, thank you. And you've always been a hard worker, and that's why we've always tried to partner with people who put that extra effort. But we couldn't pick the prosecution. We inherited them. But everywhere we go, we partner with people like you who are relentless and tireless, and they just chase down the truth. And I really appreciate that's what you brought to our case. And when people reach out to me, I'll tell them that this is a network that you can partner with and understand that they'll be there to the very end.
Wow. Okay. Now we're going to go to Lawyer Lee, because she had something important that she wanted to say about Donna Adelson and Brian Koberger and this situation. So. All right, there we go. I got a card to the commercial.
Hi, y'all. It's Lawyer Lee. Donna Adelson is going to have to unpack her prison issue suitcase because she is stuck in Tallahassee. That's where she's slated to go on trial in just a month. Prosecutors say she conspired to murder her ex-son-in-law, Dan Markell, a law professor in Tallahassee. Donna wanted out, wanted her case tried somewhere else. Miami-Dade County would have been her top choice, but she probably would have accepted just about anything other than Tallahassee. She even went so far as to compare herself to Brian Koberger, who got his trial moved out of Moscow, Idaho. None of that appears to have worked. It has not yet dropped onto the public docket, but Tallahassee sources are saying that the judge has told Donna no, at least for now, that he will not grant Donna's motion until after the two sides have at least tried to pick a fair jury there in Tallahassee. I'm not at all surprised because the judge made it pretty clear at the hearing 3 weeks ago that that was what he was likely going to do. So let's talk about what just happened and what that means for Donna Adelson's upcoming trial. Should the judge have moved the case? Did he make the right decision? What does this mean? So first of all, what exactly is it that Donna Adelson wanted? She asked the court to do something called change the venue.
Okay, this doesn't have anything to do with Brian Koberger. It's just that she drops his name, okay? Because the next one that I was going to show said that Donna was in distress and there was a body cam video or something. So we're going to save Donna Adelson for another day. And then this is the last thing from KREM2 News. The attorneys share insight on Brian Koberger's pleading guilty to unaliving 4 U of I students. Okay, let's pull this up. Let me do share screen. All right.
That's from the courtroom earlier today. And we do have a guest joining us now, attorney Jeffrey Feiner. Jeffrey, thank you for being with us. You've been an attorney for 40 years. So here to give us some perspective, just overall perspective of the proceedings today.
Certainly, I'm happy to do that. There's relief for a lot of people with this decision to plead guilty, but the pain and the trauma is going to go on. First of all, there's going to be a sentencing coming up in about a month.
Right.
We know what the sentence is going to be. It's going to be 4 consecutive life terms.
And that's what the judge said. That is the higher end. They technically have the ability, the court, to lower the sentence, but that's unlikely, I assume.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, so 4 consecutive life sentences and
without parole.
Without parole.
Which means he will die in prison. And it also means.
Now, during the sentencing, the plea, the judge said that the minimum for a life sentence is 10 years. The maximum is, I think in some places it's 40 years. So, he could be out in 50 years, but I doubt that he would be. I think he's going to get 5 40-year sentences. That's what I'm thinking. But I did have an argument stating that he could be out in 10 years or 50 years, I'm sorry, which is possible. It is possible. He could be out in 50 years. But I don't think it's likely.
That the state is done with the prosecution. The million or more dollars it would have taken to run this trial isn't going to have to be spent. The possibility of maybe some kind of verdict that would be upsetting is gone. The defense, they're all gone.
Well, in just the trial itself, I mean, irrespective of what the outcome would have been of the trial itself would have been so brutal
Yes.
for families to have sat through.
At the end of crime, the trauma's not over.
Right.
And if there's law enforcement and they catch a perpetrator and they put the perpetrator on trial, there's still grief and trauma for everyone involved. And it's not a question of expense only financial, it's expense emotionally on everyone.
Absolutely.
This would have been a very difficult case to go through a trial. And it may not have been a foregone conclusion, although my best guess is, having now heard the plea, it would have been extremely difficult to defend this case.
But a massive case nonetheless. They talked
Yes.
about having to bring in 10,000 people to vet them for a jury.
That seems large. I don't know that it would have taken that much, but it does require you to have 12 people ultimately sitting who can say in good faith that they don't have a predetermined decision about the outcome. It could have been tried. Eventually we get juries to sit. But the thing is people want finality. And this is the only problem I can see with the decision of what happened today, is that we have finality for a trial. There's not going to be one. But he waived any right to an appeal. And that means he's not going to be allowed to appeal any sentence he does get. And it seems like that will be the end of it. But I have to say, it's actually never over in a case of this size.
Right.
He can always allege that his defense counsel weren't adequate for him.
Even though today he answered the judge in sort of that procedural moments that he was not being forced to do this, he had not
Correct.
been promised anything.
Correct.
So he can still go back?
Well, yes, any defendant can at some point within a year, generally, after a conviction like this, and say, you know, I wasn't told certain critical things, or my lawyers failed me. And when I told the judge I wasn't forced, that was based on what I knew at the time.
And I think that's what's going to happen. It's just my opinion. It's just my thought. And and I think other people think that otherwise it wouldn't be being said if it couldn't happen and that other people didn't suspect it. I don't think people much smarter than me wouldn't be saying it.
It doesn't happen often. It rarely works. But I want to say this much, the finality, it's never final. There could be another court proceeding within a year's time. He can allege new evidence that he now has that his lawyers failed him. I don't foresee that, but I caution folks when they talk about, is this over? It's probably over, but he may yet be in the headlines in a year's time attacking his lawyers. That's really the last step of it. But then the real finality, the peace for the families is inescapable. The families that agreed to this, the families that don't agree to this resolution, their pain goes on no
Because
matter.
all the families have different perspectives,
Of
and
course.
understandably so.
Of course.
One last quick question. I thought it was interesting today, but you may have some good perspective on this. There has been a gag order in effect. The judge held that gag order until sentencing.
Yeah.
Why not let people speak, being that there's not likely going to be now a trial?
That's a great question. We're not going to see a jury in this case. The jury's aspect of this is now gone.
Right.
He is found guilty. Sentencing, however, is still a moment of great focus, and it is conceivable that a lifting of the gag order could affect sentencing. And it could affect what happens afterwards. I suspect the judge will be forced legally to withdraw the order when the sentencing is done. He does have 30 days in which he can file an appeal. It won't be granted. He's already given up that right. But that kind of tumult that sometimes comes after a case, it's probably best to leave the gag order in place a little longer. Personally, I thought the gag order was gone. Once the jury was out of the scene, I thought, well, that's the end of the
That's
gag
what we
order.
thought.
No, the judge is being very careful. And as I thought about it more deeply, I think this judge is wisely using another month of gag order just so that something doesn't go wrong. Sometimes things go wrong.
And there's a lot of emotion, of course.
There
and
is
a
a
lot
great
of
deal
things
of
that can get out there. Oh, right.
Yeah.
We appreciate it so much.
You're welcome.
You're sort of retired, and we appreciate you
Sort of retired.
coming in and spending a little bit of time with us, giving some perspective. We're going to take a quick break here on Crime Team.
Okay. Do you think that Brian's going to come back and say, my attorney was junk? My attorney was in the wrong. My attorney didn't tell me they'd taken this plea deal, I was going to get this. Or, whatever. I'm interested to know people's comments on that. So if you're watching this later because you didn't see it live, please still hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. Tell me what you think should happen or will happen after sentencing. Before I go, I want to mention, pinned at the top of the comments is I just got a thing popped up that says a moderator turned on members only mode, a moderator turned off members only mode, a moderator turned on subscriber only mode, a moderator turned on subscriber only mode for 5 minutes. I don't even know how to do that. My cat can do it. When I was in my other office, my cat climbed up on here and he managed to get that turned on somehow. I don't know how. But anyway, pinned at the top of the comment, it says shop at getlocker.com. I have over 575 items listed there, some vintage, some antique, some not as vintage or antique, but just as nice. And if you're looking for a gift for somebody, I've got very low prices. And if you like to resell or anything, my prices are low enough that you can still make profit reselling. So with that being said, thank you for being here. I appreciate every one of you. Do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason that they smile, and get lost.